Mohamed Salah Mahrous Ghaly, born the 15th of June 1992, is an Egyptian professional footballer who plays as a right winger or right midfielder for Premier League club Liverpool and captains the Egypt national team. He is widely regarded as one of the best players of his generation and one of the greatest wingers of all time. Dubbed the Egyptian King, he is the all-time top foreign goalscorer in the Premier League and the all-time top African goalscorer in the UEFA Champions League. Salah began his senior career in 2010 at Al-Makawaloon, departing in 2012 to join Basel, where he won 2 Swiss Super League titles. In 2014, he joined Chelsea for a reported fee of £11 million, but limited game time led to successive loans to Fiorentina and Roma, who later signed him permanently for €15 million. In the 2016-17 season, Salah was a key figure in Roma's unsuccessful title bid, reaching double figures in both goals and assists. In 2017, Salah moved to Liverpool for £36.9 million, a club record at the time. In his first season, he set the record for most Premier League goals scored, 32, in a 38-game season, and helped Liverpool to the 2018 Champions League final. Having formed a formidable attacking trio with Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane, Salah went on to be an integral player in the club's Champions League and Premier League title successes in the following 2 seasons. He has since also won the FA Cup, EFL Cup, FA Community Shield, UEFA Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup. In the 2024-25 season, he won a second league title while breaking the record for the most goal contributions in a 38-game Premier League campaign. For his performances during the season, he won the PFA Players Player of the Year award for a record-breaking 3rd time. Salah's other individual accolades include 3 FWA Footballer of the Year awards, 4 Premier League Golden Boots, 2 Premier League Player of the Season awards, 2 Premier League Playmaker of the Season awards, finished 3rd for the Best FIFA Men's Player in 2018 and 2021, and finished 4th in the 2025 Ballon d'Or. He received the 2018 FIFA Puskas Award for his winning strike in the first Merseyside derby of the 2017-18 season. In 2023, Salah became Liverpool's all-time top goalscorer in the history of the Premier League and also became the 5th player to score 200 goals for the club. In 2025, he became Liverpool's 3rd highest goalscorer in the club's history, behind Roger Hunt and Ian Rush. In 2026, Salah announced that he would leave Liverpool at the end of the 2025-26 season. At international level, Salah represented Egypt at youth level before making his senior debut in 2011. Following his performances at the 2012 Summer Olympics, he was named CAF Most Promising African Talent of the Year. Since then, he finished as runner-up in the 2017 and 2021 Africa Cup of Nations and was top scorer during CAF qualification as Egypt qualified for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Salah was named CAF African Footballer of the Year 2017 and 2018, BBC African Footballer of the Year 2017 and 2018, and was selected in the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations Team of the Tournament, 2021 Africa Cup of Nations Team of the Tournament, and the CAF Team of the Year on several occasions.
Salah is regarded as a symbol of national pride in Egypt for his achievements and was named in Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people in 2019. Salah has also been credited for raising the profile of Liverpool among Egyptians. Club career: Al-Makawaloon. Salah started out playing for the youth setups of local teams Ittihad Bassioun and Othmasan Tanta. He names Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, and Francesco Totti as his childhood idols. In 2006, he joined the youth team of Al-Makawaloon Al-Arab, aged 14, after being spotted by a scout who had originally come to watch another child play, but was distracted by Salah. Salah frequently had to miss school to make the 3-hour journey to training. When Salah was 15, he was noticed by first-team manager Mohamed Radwan, who moved him to the first-team squad immediately. Salah had to be given a special diet and training program due to his muscles not being fully formed because of his young age. Salah made his first team debut on May 3, 2010 in the Egyptian Premier League, coming on as a substitute in a 1-1 away draw against Al Mansah. During the 2010-2011 season, Salah continued earning minutes on the pitch, eventually becoming a regular in the team. Even though he was getting regular game time, Salah struggled to score.
In the dressing room after matches, he would sometimes be in tears because of this, and Radwan says it only motivated him to become better. He scored his first goal for them on 25 December 2010 in a 1-1 away draw against Al Ahly. He remained a regular for Al Mokawloon, appearing in every game of the 2011-2012 season. Following the Portside Stadium riot on February 1, 2012, the Egyptian Premier League was suspended, and on 10 March, the Egyptian Football Association announced their decision to cancel the remainder of the season. Basel, 2012-2013, Development and Breakthrough. Salah playing for Basel away at Zenit St. Petersburg in the UEFA Europa League in March 2013.
Swiss Super League club Basel had been monitoring Salah for some time, so following the Egyptian Premier League suspension, the club organized a friendly match with the Egypt national under-23 team. The match took place on the 16th of March at the Stadion Rankhof in Basel, and despite only playing the second half, Salah scored twice, helping the Egyptians to a 4-3 win. Basel subsequently invited Salah to remain in the city for a week's training. On the 10th of April 2012, it was announced that Salah had signed for Basel on a 4-year contract starting from the 15th of June 2012. He initially found it difficult to settle, having arrived unable to speak the language and been signed as a replacement for Xherdan Shaqiri. Salah scored on his unofficial debut on the 23rd of June 2012 against FCSB during a friendly match, a 4-2 defeat. He made his official Basel debut in a UEFA Champions League preliminary stage match against the Norwegian club Molde on the 8th of August, coming on as a substitute in the 74th minute. He made his league debut on the 12th of August against Thun, playing the full match. He scored his first league goal a week later, the second goal in a 2-0 home win against Lausanne Sport. Salah scored his first UEFA Europa League goal in the quarterfinals on the 11th of April 2013 as Basel advanced to the semifinals by beating Tottenham Hotspur 4-1 in a penalty shootout after a 4-4 aggregate draw. In the semi-final on the 2nd of May, Salah scored away to Chelsea, although Basel were beaten 5-2 on aggregate. Despite late disappointment in Europe, Basel won the 2012-13 Swiss Super League title and finished runners-up in the Swiss Cup. 2013-2014, final season and league championship. Ahead of the 2013-14 Swiss Super League season, Salah was a member of the Basel team that won the 2013 Oran Cup. Salah scored in his first league appearance of the season against Aarau on the 13th of July 2013. He scored his first Champions League goal a month later against Maccabi Tel Aviv on the 6th of August 2013 in the third qualifying round. Salah was the subject of major controversy following the game, after he appeared to deliberately avoid shaking hands with the players of the Israeli club in both the home and away legs. He scored twice against the Bulgarian league champions PFC Ludo Gorets Razgrad on the 21st of August 2013 in the playoff round. On the 18th of September 2013, Salah scored the equalizer against Chelsea in the 2-1 away win during the group stage. During the return tie on the 26th of November at St. Jakob Park, Salah scored the winning goal as Basel beat Chelsea for the second time with a 1-0 home win. However, he was unable to prevent Basel being eliminated in the group stage. On the domestic stage, Salah continued to perform, scoring 4 goals in 18 games, including a double against title rivals Young Boys. He helped Basel win the league title for the 5th time in a row. On the 23rd of January 2014, it was announced that Salah would leave Basel. During his time with the club, Salah played a total of 79 games for Basel, scoring a total of 20 goals. 47 of these games were in the Swiss Super League, 6 in the Swiss Cup, and 26 in UEFA competitions, Champions League and Europa League. He scored 9 goals in the domestic league, 4 in the Cup, and 7 in European matches. Chelsea 2014. On the 23rd of January 2014, Premier League club Chelsea announced that a deal had been agreed with Basel to sign Salah for a fee reported to be in the region of £11 million.
3 days later, the transfer was completed, making him the first Egyptian to sign for the London-based club. Liverpool had been interested in Salah and had made an offer of £11 million, but were beaten to his signature by Chelsea. On the 8th of February, Salah made his debut for Chelsea in the Premier League, coming on as a substitute in the 3-0 win over Newcastle United. 7 games later, on the 22nd of March, Salah scored his first goal for Chelsea against Arsenal in the London Derby, coming on as a substitute for Oscar in a match which ended as a 6-0 home win. Then, on the 5th of April, Salah opened the scoring and later won a penalty and assisted the third goal in Chelsea's 3-0 win over Stoke City. 2014-2015, Salah playing for Chelsea in August 2014. Before the 2014-15 season, Salah's future with Chelsea looked to be in doubt after reports suggested he could be forced to return to Egypt to carry out military service after his registration for an education scheme was rescinded by the Egyptian Minister of Higher Education. He was spared from military service after a meeting with Egyptian Prime Minister Ibrahim Malab, the Minister of Higher Education, and the Egypt national team manager Shawki Garib. Salah changed squad numbers from 15 to 17 for the start of the season, with his new number having been vacated by Eden Hazard changing to number 10. Salah was rarely used during the season, making just 3 Premier League, 2 Champions League, and 3 Cup appearances, failing to score in any of them. On the 28th of October 2014, after a poor performance in a 2-1 win away to League Two team Shrewsbury Town in the 4th round of the League Cup, he and fellow winger Andre Schürrle were criticized publicly by manager Jose Mourinho. Although Salah only made 3 league appearances before his loan move to Fiorentina, Mourinho stated that he would receive a replica winner's medal from the club for his contributions that season. 2015, loan to Fiorentina. Salah playing for Fiorentina against Dynamo Kyiv in the Europa League in 2015. On the transfer deadline day, the 2nd of February 2015, Chelsea confirmed that Salah would join Italian club Fiorentina on an 18-month loan until the end of the 2015-16 season, as part of a transfer deal which saw Juan Cuadrado moving in the opposite direction. 6 days after signing, he made his debut coming off the bench in the 65th minute as a replacement for Joaquin in a 3-2 home victory against Atalanta in Serie A. Salah chose the number 74 shirt in honor of the victims of the Portside Stadium riot. Salah made his first start for Fiorentina on the 14th of February against Sassuolo, scoring his first goal for the club in the 30th minute. He then provided an assist to Kuma Babakar just 2 minutes after scoring. The match ended in a 3-1 win for Fiorentina. 12 days later, Salah scored his first European goal for Fiorentina as his side advanced to the round of 16 of the Europa League, beating Tottenham 3-1 on aggregate. Salah scored the winning goal for Fiorentina against Inter Milan on the 1st of March, his 3rd goal in Serie A. 4 days after that, Salah scored both of Fiorentina's goals in their 2-1 win away to Juventus in the Coppa Italia semi-final first leg. At the end of the season, Fiorentina activated an option to make the loan move permanent, but Salah refused the move. Even though the loan agreement was for 18 months, Salah refused to return to Fiorentina and instead joined fellow Serie A club Roma. On the 11th of September, Fiorentina filed a complaint to FIFA, claiming that Chelsea had breached the agreed contract when they allowed Salah to join Roma on loan. The Court of Arbitration for Sport cleared Salah and Chelsea of any wrongdoing. 2015-2016. Loan to Roma. On the 6th of August 2015, Salah joined Roma on a season-long loan for €5 million with the option to make the deal permanent for a reported €15 million. He wore the number 11 shirt. He made his debut on the 22nd of August as the new season began with a 1-1 draw away Hellas Verona. On the 20th of September, Salah scored his first goal of the season against Sassuolo to help Roma salvage a point as the match ended in a 2-2 draw. He went on to score in his following 2 matches, a 2-1 loss against Sampdoria and a 5-1 win against Carpi. On the 25th of October, Salah scored the opener against his former club Fiorentina in a 2-1 away victory to help earn a 4th straight league win for Roma.
On his return, Salah was also sent off after picking up a second yellow in the closing minutes of the match, just seconds after picking up his first yellow. On the 4th of November, he scored the opening goal of a 3-2 Champions League win over Bayer Leverkusen. On the 4th of March, he faced his former side Fiorentina again and scored another double as Roma won 4-1 and broke into the top three. Salah would go on to score another 3 goals that season, scoring against Bologna, Genoa, and AC Milan, the latter on the final day. In the 2015-16 season, Salah scored 15 goals in 42 matches, as Roma finished in 3rd place in Serie A and qualified for the Champions League. In June, it was announced that Salah won the club's 2015-16 Player of the Season award. Roma 2016-2017. Permanent transfer, Serie A runner-up. On the 3rd of August 2016, Roma announced the signing of Salah on a permanent deal for €15 million. He scored his first goal of the season in a 4-0 win over Udinese in the opening game of the season on the 20th of August. On the 6th of November, Salah scored a hat-trick in a 3-0 win over Bologna, his first club career hat-trick. However, a ruptured ankle ligament kept him out for the first half of December. He returned as a halftime substitute in a 1-0 defeat against title rivals Juventus on the 17th of December. Salah then endured a 2-month period without a goal. He broke his drought on the 19th of February, scoring against Torino in a 4-1 win. On the 9th of March, he scored Roma's opening goal in an eventual 4-2 defeat to Lyon in the first leg of the round of 16 in the 2016-17 Europa League. Despite winning the second leg 2-1, they were unable to turn the tie around and were knocked out 5-4 on aggregate. On the 28th of May, in the final game of the season, Salah was substituted for captain Francesco Totti, who was playing his final game with the club in a 3-2 win over Genoa. Roma finished the season in second, just 4 points behind champions Juventus. Salah scored 19 goals in all competitions. Liverpool 2017-2018. Record-breaking individual success, Salah playing for Liverpool in 2017. His performances in the 2017-18 season saw him receive numerous accolades, including PFA Players' Player of the Year and the Football Writers' Player of the Year. On the 22nd of June 2017, Salah agreed to transfer to Premier League club Liverpool. He signed a long-term contract with the Reds for an initial £36.5 million fee that could rise to £43 million. The fee was a club record, eclipsing the £35 million spent on Andy Carroll in 2011. He was assigned the number 11 shirt previously worn by Roberto Firmino, who instead switched to number 9. He joined the club on the 1st of July upon the opening of the summer transfer window, becoming Liverpool's first Egyptian player, and scored on his Premier League debut against Watford in a 3-3 away draw on the 12th of August. On the 24th of August, Salah scored his second goal for Liverpool in a 2017-18 Champions League playoff round 4-2 win, 6-3 AGG, against 1899 Hoffenheim, his first goal at Anfield. 3 days later, Salah scored and assisted a goal in a 4-0 victory over Arsenal. For his performances in August, Salah was awarded Player of the Month by Liverpool supporters. On the 17th of October, Salah netted twice in a 7-0 Champions League win over Maribor, helping Liverpool to the joint largest ever away win in the competition and the largest away win by an English club. What a season, and more to come in the Champions League and World Cup. It's been great to watch you. Pelé to Salah on his record-breaking 2017-18 season. On the 26th of November 2017, Salah scored the opener and refused to celebrate in a 1-1 home draw with his former team Chelsea, out of respect for the club as well as victims of the Sinai Mosque attack 2 days earlier. Salah rose to the top of the Premier League goal-scoring charts by scoring twice after coming on as a substitute away at Stoke City on the 29th of November in a 3-0 win. The following month, Salah netted in a 4-0 win over Bournemouth, a result which saw Liverpool become the first team in Premier League history to win 4 consecutive away league matches by a margin of at least 3 goals. In the process, he also became the joint second fastest player to reach 20 goals for Liverpool on his 26th appearance, behind George Allen, who reached the milestone in 19 appearances in 1895. On the 17th of March 2018, Salah scored 4 goals in a 5-0 win over Watford, which was his first hat-trick for Liverpool. In this game, he also broke a record of scoring 36 times in his debut season for Liverpool, and also became the leading goalscorer in Europe's top 5 leagues, overtaking Barcelona's Lionel Messi and Tottenham striker Harry Kane. Following Salah's record-breaking goal exploits, former Liverpool captain Steven Gerrard stated, "We are witnessing the start of greatness." In early April 2018, he scored in both Champions League quarter-final matches against Manchester City to help his side advance. On the 22nd of April 2018, Salah was awarded the PFA Players Player of the Year award, having earlier been named in the PFA Team of the Year for the Premier League. 2 days later, he scored a brace in a 5-2 Champions League semi-final first-leg win over former club Roma. In doing so, he simultaneously became the first player from Africa and the first Liverpool player to score 10 goals in a single campaign in the tournament. His double also took him to 43 goals for the season across all competitions, surpassing Roger Hunt's tally of 42 and making him Liverpool's second highest goalscorer in a single season, behind Ian Rush. He had previously also broken the club's record for the Premier League era, surpassing Robbie Fowler's total of 36 goals set in the 1995-96 campaign and Fernando Torres's record of 33 for the most goals by a Liverpool player in a debut season. After his 2 goals and assists in the first leg against Roma, Salah featured in the second leg as Liverpool beat the Italian club 7-6 on aggregate to qualify for the final for the first time in 11 years. He would then become the Premier League's all-time goalscorer for a 38-game season, registering his 32nd league goal in a 4-0 win against Brighton and Hove Albion, en route to being awarded the Premier League Golden Boot. In the 2018 Champions League final against Real Madrid, Salah injured his left shoulder in the 30th minute after a challenge by Madrid defender Sergio Ramos. After initially carrying on, he left the field in tears after going to ground again. The match ended in a 3-1 defeat. The Egyptian FA stated that this would have no effect on his availability for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia, and that Salah would still be named in the team's final squad on the 4th of June. The day after the match, Ramos wrote a message and sent him good wishes. 2018-2019 European champion and second Golden Boot, Salah, during a warm-up ahead of a preseason match on the 7th of August 2018. On July 2018, Salah signed a new long-term contract with Liverpool. Manager Jurgen Klopp said the news was important as a statement of intent in terms of Liverpool's status in the football world, in having Salah commit himself further to the club. On 12 August, Salah scored Liverpool's first goal of the season in a 4-0 home win over West Ham United. On 30 August, Salah was named on the 3-man shortlist for the UEFA Men's Player of the Year, coming in 3rd place, and was also included on the 3-man shortlist for the UEFA Forward of the Season, coming in 2nd place. On 3 September, he was named on the 3-man shortlist for the Best FIFA Men's Player, finishing 3rd. Salah controversially received the 2018 FIFA Puskas Award for Goal of the Year, the winning strike his goal at Anfield in his first Merseyside derby, prompting online protests against the decision. On 24 October, Salah scored twice against Red Star Belgrade in the 2018-19 Champions League group stage, with his second goal his 50th for the club. With 50 goals in 65 games, he is the fastest player in Liverpool history to reach the half-century. On 3 December, Salah was ranked in 6th place at the 2018 Ballon d'Or ceremony as a recognition for his performances with club and country throughout 2018. On 8 December, Salah scored a hat-trick in a 4-0 away win over Bournemouth to move Liverpool to the top of the league table.
3 days later, he scored the winning goal in a 1-0 win over Napoli in their final Champions League group fixture, the result qualifying Liverpool to the round of 16. On 19 January 2019, he scored his 50th Premier League goal with a brace in a 4-3 win over Crystal Palace, reaching the tally in 72 appearances.
In doing so, he became the joint fourth fastest player to achieve the milestone, alongside Fernando Torres, and behind only Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, and Ruud van Nistelrooy. Salah at the Champions League trophy parade in Liverpool on June 2, 2019, the day after the final. In February 2019, West Ham said they were investigating a video which allegedly showed fans racially abusing Salah, including for being Muslim. The investigation resulted in the fan being banned for 3 years. On the 5th of April, he scored his 50th Premier League goal for Liverpool in a 3-1 win over Southampton, and in the process broke Torres' record to become the fastest player to reach the milestone for the club, doing so in his 69th appearance. It also saw him become the third fastest player to reach the milestone for a single club in the Premier League era, behind Shearer for Blackburn Rovers in 66 appearances and Van Nistelrooy for Manchester United in 68. Later that month, he scored the second goal, a powerful strike from 25 yards out that flew into the top corner, in a 2-0 win over Chelsea, which helped Liverpool earn a club record equaling 26th win for the Premier League campaign, and the club's second highest ever wins return in the top flight after the record of 30 set in 1979. On the 26th of April, he made his 100th appearance for Liverpool and broke the record jointly held by Roger Hunt and Sam Raybould for the player with the most goals in his first century of appearances for the club, netting twice in a 5-0 win over Huddersfield Town to take his tally to 69. I have sacrificed a lot for my career. To come from a village to go to Cairo and to be an Egyptian at this level is unbelievable for me. On the 1st of June, after missing the semi-final due to injury, Salah scored Liverpool's first goal in a 2-0 win over Tottenham in the 2019 Champions League final from a penalty. The goal, which he scored in the opening 2 minutes of the match, was the second fastest goal ever scored in a Champions League final, slower only than Paolo Maldini's effort for AC Milan against Liverpool in the 2005 final. In September 2019, Salah was nominated for the FIFPRO World 11 Award by Worldwide Players Union FIFPR and FIFA as one of 55 players. 2019-2020. Premier League champion Salah playing for Liverpool in the 2019 UEFA Super Cup. On the 9th of August 2019, Salah scored Liverpool's second goal in a 4-1 win against Norwich City in the opening game of the 2019-20 Premier League season. In the 2019 UEFA Super Cup on the 14th of August, Salah scored Liverpool's fifth and ultimately decisive penalty in a 5-4 penalty shootout win against Chelsea after the game had finished 2-2 after extra time. In December, Salah ended fifth in the voting polls for the 2019 Ballon d'Or and made his 100th Premier League appearance later in the month, marking the occasion with a goal and assist in Liverpool's 3-0 win over Bournemouth. Later that month, Liverpool won the 2019 FIFA Club World Cup, with Salah receiving the Golden Ball Award for Player of the Tournament. On the 19th of January 2020, Salah scored his first goal in 5 encounters against rivals Manchester United, with a run that spanned from outside his box to the other goal in Liverpool's 2-0 home win in the Premier League. On the 29th of January, Salah scored Liverpool's opening goal in a 2-0 away win against West Ham, a victory that saw the club beat every team in a Premier League season, the first time in the club's 127-year history that they had accomplished it in the top flight. On the 7th of March, Salah scored the opening goal in a 2-1 win against Bournemouth, as Liverpool made it an English top-flight record of 22 consecutive home wins. It was also his 70th Premier League goal in 100 appearances for Liverpool, meaning that he had scored 7 more goals than the previous best in their first 100 league games for the club, 63 goals by Fernando Torres. Salah's 20th of the season saw him become the first Liverpool player to score 20 goals in all competitions in 3 consecutive seasons since Michael Owen between 2001 and 2002-03. On the 24th of June 2020, he scored as Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 4-0 at home as the team edged closer to securing the title. After Liverpool being confirmed as champions, Salah would go on to score a further 2 goals, both against Brighton, before lifting the Premier League trophy after a 5-3 victory over Chelsea. 2020 minus 2021 to 100 th Liverpool goal and more records. On the 12th of September 2020, Salah scored a hat-trick in the first league match of a season, including 2 penalties in a 4-3 win against Leeds United. Hence, he became the first Liverpool player to score in 4 consecutive league openers from the 2017-18 to 2020-21 seasons, and the second man in Premier League history after Teddy Sheringham from the 1992-93 to 1995-96 seasons. He also became the first player to score a hat-trick for Liverpool in the first league match since John Aldrich achieved this feat in the 1988-89 season. On the 17th of October 2020, he scored his 100th goal for Liverpool in all competitions in a 2-2 away draw against Everton. In scoring his 100th goal in his 159th game, Salah became the first player since Steven Gerrard in 2008 to reach the milestone, and the 3rd fastest in Liverpool's history after Roger Hunt, 100 goals in 144 games, and Jack Parkinson, 153 games. Salah is the fastest to reach 100 goals for Liverpool while scoring purely in England's top flight, given that both Hunt and Parkinson scored some of their goals for Liverpool in the Football League's 2nd division. On the 31st of January 2021, Salah scored 2 goals against West Ham and became the 5th Liverpool player to score more than 20 goals in all competitions in 4 consecutive seasons, and the first since Ian Rush did so 6 times running from 1981 to 1982 to 1986-87. In addition, his goal in the 68th minute that game was later voted as Premier League Goal of the Month. On the 24th of April, he scored in a 1-1 draw with Newcastle United to become the first Liverpool player to score 20 goals in 3 different Premier League campaigns. On the 13th of May, he scored a goal in a 4-2 away win over Manchester United to be his team's first away win at Old Trafford since March 2014. Moreover, he also became the only player to score at Old Trafford for Liverpool in 2 different games in a season, having scored twice in a 3-2 defeat in the FA Cup since Harry Chambers in the 1920-21 season. 2021-2022. 3rd Golden Boot and Playmaker of the Season Salah. During a preseason game for Liverpool in 2021, Salah opened the 2021-22 season with a goal and 2 assists in a 3-0 win away to Norwich, becoming the first player to score in the opening game of 5 consecutive Premier League seasons. On the 12th of September, Salah scored his 100th Premier League goal in the 3-0 win away to Leeds United. On the 25th of September, Salah scored his 100th Premier League goal for Liverpool in a 3-3 draw away to Brentford. Reaching 100 top-flight goals in fewer games than any player in Liverpool history, he achieved the milestone in 151 games, 1 game fewer than Roger Hunt, who reached a century of goals in 152 games. The goal also moved Salah into Liverpool's top 10 all-time scorers list. We don't have to talk about what Messi and Ronaldo have done for world football and their dominance, but right now, Salah, is the best. I see him every day. There are people like Lewandowski and Ronaldo and Messi and Mbappe, but at this moment, for sure, he's on top of that list. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp praising Salah after Liverpool's win against Watford in the Premier League. On 19 October 2021, Salah became the first player in Liverpool history to score in 9 consecutive games, with 2 goals in a 3-2 win away to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. His second goal, his 31st in the Champions League, saw him become Liverpool's record goalscorer in the competition, surpassing the 30 goals scored by Steven Gerrard. In his next game on 24 October, Salah continued breaking records with a hat-trick against Liverpool's arch-rivals Manchester United in a 5-0 away victory. By scoring a hat-trick, Salah became the highest-scoring African player in Premier League history, surpassing the 104 goals scored by Didier Drogba, and the first Liverpool player to score in 10 consecutive games, as well as the first Liverpool player to score at Old Trafford 3 games in a row.
He also became the first opposition player to score a hat-trick at Old Trafford since Ronaldo in 2003, and the first to do so in Premier League history. On 3 October 2021, Salah scored a goal against Manchester City after dribbling through their defense. The goal was later named the Premier League Goal of the Month and the Premier League Goal of the Season for 2021-22. On 29 November, Salah was voted in 7th place for the Ballon d'Or ceremony. He stated, "It shocked me, but there's nothing I can say. No one in the world expected that I would be 7th, but that's what happened." Salah also hinted that prejudice against his Egyptian nationality may have hindered him in the ranking. On 1 December, Salah scored twice in a 4-1 away win against Everton in the Premier League, as Liverpool became the first team in English top-flight history to score at least 2 goals in 18 successive games in all competitions. On 7 December 2021, Salah scored Liverpool's opening goal in a 2-1 away win against AC Milan at the San Siro, as Liverpool became the first English club to win all 6 Champions League group games in the competition's history. The goal was Salah's 20th of the season, and he became the first Liverpool player since Ian Rush to score 20 goals in 5 successive seasons. On 16 December, Salah scored Liverpool's second goal in a 3-1 home win against Newcastle United, the 15th consecutive Premier League game he either scored or made an assist, in what was Liverpool's 2000th top-flight win. On 19 February 2022, Salah became the 10th player to score 150 goals in all competitions for the club, and the second fastest, 232 matches, after Roger Hunt, 226, when he scored the second goal in a 3-1 Premier League win over Norwich at Anfield. On 19 April, Salah became the first Premier League player to score 5 goals against Manchester United in a single season, after scoring a brace in a 4-0 win at Anfield. On 29 April, Salah was named England's Men's Footballer of the Year for the second time since 2018. On 22 May, Salah was awarded his 3rd Golden Boot Award at the end of the Premier League season, sharing the award with Son Heung-min after both players scored 23 goals. Salah also won the Playmaker of the Season award after collecting 13 assists. Salah earned a runner-up medal in the 2021 Champions League, losing the final to Real Madrid. Liverpool narrowly missed out on the chance to achieve a historic quadruple, coming second in the Premier League and the Champions League, but winning both the EFL Cup and the FA Cup. 2022-2023, contract extension and European records. Salah, right, playing for Liverpool in 2022 against RB Leipzig. On 1 July 2022, Salah signed a new contract with Liverpool, lasting until at least 2025. On 30 July, Salah scored a penalty and assisted a goal in a 3-1 FA Community Shield victory against Manchester City. On 6 August, Salah began the new Premier League campaign by scoring 1 goal and assisting another in a 2-2 draw away at Fulham. With his 8th goal in Premier League opening matches, he became the first player to score on the opening day 6 seasons in a row and equaled the record of total goals on opening days set by Wayne Rooney, Frank Lampard, and Alan Shearer. On 12 October, Salah came off the bench in a Champions League match away to Rangers, before scoring 3 goals in the space of 6 minutes and 12 seconds of an eventual 7-1 win. This saw him break Bafétimbi Gomez's record for the fastest Champions League hat-trick of all time. With 38 goals, he also became the highest goal scorer for an English side, beating out Didier Drogba and Sergio Aguero. On 17 October, Salah was voted in 5th place for the Ballon d'Or ceremony.
On the 7th of January 2023, Salah surpassed Kenny Dalglish for 6th place on the club's all-time top scorers list, taking his tally for the club to 173 in 280 matches, when he scored the second goal in a 2-2 home draw against Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup. On the 21st of February, Salah became Liverpool's top goalscorer in European competitions after scoring the second goal in the Champions League match against Real Madrid in the first leg of the round of 16. Despite being defeated by Real Madrid in both legs of the round of 16 and not advancing further in the competition, Salah finished the 2022-23 Champions League as the second highest goalscorer in the competition, behind only Erling Haaland.
Moreover, on the 5th of March, Salah scored 2 goals and delivered 2 assists against Manchester United in a 7-0 win and became Liverpool's top scorer in the Premier League with 129 goals, overtaking Robbie Fowler's tally of 128. Salah also became the first Liverpool player to score against Manchester United in 5 consecutive games. With his first goal against United, Salah became the highest-scoring Egyptian ever with 303 career goals, surpassing Hassam Hassan, who had scored 302 goals for club and country in all competitions between 1985 and 2007. On the 6th of May, Salah became the first player in Liverpool history to score in 9 successive games at Anfield with his 100th goal at the stadium. On the 15th of May, Salah completed his first ever hat-trick of assists in a Premier League match in 3-0 away win against Leicester City. At the end of the 2022-23 season, Liverpool narrowly missed out on Champions League qualification, with Salah describing himself as totally devastated. Despite this, Salah was widely praised as one of the best performers in the Premier League that season. EFL Cup and Liverpool records. In the 2023-24 preseason, Salah was the recipient of a 2-year contract offer worth £155 million from Saudi Pro League side Al Ittihad. Had Salah accepted the offer, he would have joined his former teammate Fabinho in Jeddah, and Liverpool would have received a £52 million transfer fee. However, the agent of Salah, Rami Abbas Issa, stated on the 7th of August 2023 that his client was committed to Liverpool. On the 1st of September 2023, Al Ittihad sent an offer worth £150 million to sign him. However, the deal was eventually turned down by Liverpool on the same day. In the 2023-24 season, Salah moved into a playmaker role on the pitch, with manager Jurgen Klopp stating that now the situation was slightly different, especially with Darwin Núñez when he was playing. Klopp further opined that Salah was smart enough to adapt to all these different things, and that he was in all phases world-class. On the 21st of October 2023, Salah scored the 200th and 201st league goals of his career with a brace in the Merseyside derby. On the 26th of October, Salah scored the last goal in a 5-1 victory against Toulouse to become the highest-scoring Premier League player in European competitions, overtaking Thierry Henry. On the 29th of October, with Salah scoring in a 3-0 victory against Nottingham Forest, he became the 3rd player in Liverpool history to achieve the feat of scoring in each of the opening 5 home league matches of a season, after Harry Chambers and John Aldridge. Chambers and Aldridge made this achievement in 1922 and 1987 respectively. On the 9th of December, Salah scored his 200th goal for Liverpool in a 2-1 win away to Crystal Palace in the Premier League, to become the 5th player at the club to reach the landmark, following Ian Rush, Roger Hunt, Gordon Hodgson, and Billy Liddell. On the 14th of March 2024, he netted a goal in a 6-1 win over Sparta Prague in the Europa League round of 16. In which he became the first player to score at least 20 goals in 7 consecutive seasons for Liverpool, breaking Ian Rush's previous record of 6 between 1981 and 1982 and 1986-87. On the 7th of April, Salah scored in a 2-2 draw away against Manchester United, bringing his Premier League goal tally at Old Trafford to 6, the most of any visiting player in the competition's history, overtaking Steven Gerrard's 5 goals. On the 25th of May, Salah was named the top African goalscorer in the 2023-24 Premier League season, with 18 goals in 34 league appearances. On the 7th of June, he was awarded Liverpool's Player of the Season for the 4th time in his career. The end of the season saw Jurgen Klopp's departure from Liverpool. Across his tenure as Liverpool manager, Salah was his most used player. 2024-2025, record-breaking Premier League campaign. On the 17th of August 2024, Salah broke the record for the most goals scored on opening day in Premier League history after netting in a 2-0 win over newly promoted Ipswich Town. On the 4th of September, Salah was controversially not nominated for the 2024 Ballon d'Or.
On the 2nd of October, with a curled goal in a 2-0 victory over Bologna in the Champions League, he surpassed Didier Drogba as the all-time highest-scoring African player in the competition. On the 20th of October, Salah scored a penalty against Chelsea, bringing his Premier League total that season up to 5 goals and 5 assists in 8 games played.
This remains the earliest into a season a Liverpool player has both scored 5 or more goals and assisted 5 or more in the competition. The beginning of the season took place among much discussion about the potential expiry of the contracts of Salah as well as teammates Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold. On the matter, Micah Richards commented, "They, Liverpool, have got to sign Mo Salah up. It is imperative they give him a 2-year deal." On the 24th of November, Salah scored a brace in a 3-2 away win against Southampton, the latter goal of which was his 100th away goal for Liverpool in all competitions. On the 4th of December, he scored a brace and provided an assist in a 3-3 draw against Newcastle United to become the first player in Premier League history to both score and assist in 37 separate matches, overtaking Wayne Rooney's tally of 36. On the 10th of December 2024, he scored his 50th Champions League goal in Liverpool's 1-0 victory against Girona. 4 days later, he registered his 100th assist for Liverpool in all competitions in the Premier League game against Fulham. On the 22nd of December, he scored a brace and provided 2 assists in a 6-3 away victory over Tottenham Hotspur to become the first player in Premier League history to reach double digits in both goals and assists before Christmas, with 15 goals and 11 assists. He also became Liverpool's 4th highest goalscorer of all time, with 229 goals to his name, as he surpassed Billy Liddell's tally. Salah entered the all-time top 50 goal scorers in English top-flight history list with his 173rd goal in total on Boxing Day 2024, after scoring an 82nd-minute goal against Leicester City. With only 18 league games played in the season, Salah broke 3 more Premier League records when he netted a goal and provided 2 assists in a dominant 5-0 victory over West Ham United at London Stadium on the 29th of December 2024, becoming the first player to score and assist in 8 different games in a single season, and setting a record for the fewest matches to reach 30 goal involvements in a season, and most goal contributions in a single month for any player in Premier League history, while entering the Premier League's top 10 list of all-time assists with 81 to his name, surpassing David Beckham. In addition, he became the first player in Liverpool history to score at least 20 goals in all competitions for 8 consecutive seasons, breaking his own previous season record. Salah with Liverpool in 2025. On the 21st of January 2025, Salah scored his 50th goal for Liverpool in European competitions in a 2-1 victory over Lille at Anfield. The following 2 league match days saw him score against Ipswich Town in a 4-1 home win, then a brace in a 2-0 away victory at Bournemouth, increasing his tally to 178 in the Premier League, moving up to 6th in the Premier League top goalscorers list, overtaking Thierry Henry and Frank Lampard. He also became only the 5th player in Premier League history to score at least 20 goals in a season for the 5th time. On the 12th of February, in the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, Salah became the 4th player to record 100 goal involvements in as many Premier League matches, after Alan Shearer, Thierry Henry, and Robin van Persie. On the 19th of February, he registered a goal and an assist in a 2-2 away draw with Aston Villa, becoming the first player to score 15 away league goals in a single season, and just the 5th player in Premier League history to register at least 15 goals and 15 assists in a single season. 4 days later, a goal and an assist in a 2-0 victory over Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium saw him set 5 more Premier League, club, and European records, including becoming the first player to score and assist in 11 Premier League matches. The most by a player in a single season in one of Europe's Big 5 leagues since Lionel Messi did so with 11 for Barcelona in 2014-15. On the 8th of March, he became the 3rd highest goalscorer in Liverpool history with 2 goals in a 3-1 home win over Southampton in the Premier League.
On the 11th of April, Salah signed a 2-year contract extension after months of speculation over his future at the club due to his contract being set to end at the end of the season and interest from other clubs, namely from the Saudi Pro League. 2 days later, Salah recorded his 18th league assist of the season, setting up Luis Diaz's goal against West Ham United. This was his 45th goal involvement of the season, setting a record in a 38-game Premier League campaign. On the 27th of April, the day Liverpool secured their second Premier League title after a 5-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur at Anfield, Salah netted the 4th goal to become the highest foreign goal scorer in Premier League history, surpassing Sergio Aguero, while moving up to 5th in the league's all-time top scorers list. Salah left with his teammates during Liverpool's Premier League title-winning parade on the 26th of May 2025 after winning the record-equaling 20th league title. Salah finished the season by winning the Premier League Player of the Season award, the Golden Boot for most goals scored, and the Playmaker award for most assists, making him the first player in Premier League history to win all 3 awards in the same season. It was the 4th different season that Salah finished as the Premier League's top scorer, equaling Thierry Henry's record for most Golden Boots. In addition, as the top goal scorer and assist maker, he was only the 3rd player in the league's history to top both metrics, along with Andy Cole in 1993-94 and Harry Kane in 2020-21. 16 of Salah's 29 Premier League goals were scored away from home, a joint record, while he also added 11 away assists, another joint record. Salah's 27 became the most goals and assists combined away from home in one season. All 18 of his assists came from open play, only behind Thierry Henry in 2002-03. Salah was also the Premier League's most creative player in open play, creating 86 chances and the most big chances, 27, for his teammates. Salah also had the most shots, 130, registered the best XG, 25.4, and had the most touches in the opposition box, 394. Salah also matched the Premier League record for the most goal involvements in one season, 47, equal with Alan Shearer and Andy Cole, and the most goal involvements since the 1995-96 season when the number of teams was reduced to 20. On the 19th of May, Salah was interviewed by Gary Neville on Sky Sports. On the subject of the Ballon d'Or, Salah stated, "It used to drive me crazy before. Some stuff is not in your hands, so you give up in that direction. When you go to work, you remind yourself what you want to achieve in the season, so it drives you to work harder. I'd love to win it one day, but if it didn't happen, I don't know what to do." On his chances of obtaining the award as a result of the 2024-25 season, Salah opined, "I would say I never had a season like this and winning big trophies, so I would say this is my best chance to get it right now while I'm in the club, because it's been a crazy year, a crazy season with a trophy. It's given me a good chance." On the 20th of June, it was announced that Salah was one of 6 nominees for the PFA Players' Player of the Year, before winning it for a record 3rd time on the 19th of August, surpassing Thierry Henry and 5 others. 2025-2026 Premier League record for goal involvements for Liverpool and departure. On the 15th of August 2025, Salah scored a stoppage-time goal in Liverpool's 4-2 win over Bournemouth, bringing his total to a record 10 Premier League opening day goals across different seasons. He netted his 188th Premier League goal in a 1-0 victory over Burnley on the 14th of September, taking him outright 4th in the all-time goal-scoring rankings ahead of Andy Cole. In the run-up to the 2025 Ballon d'Or, many footballing figures, including Casemiro, Hossam Hassan, Mito, Abedi Pele, Paulo Di Canio, William Troost-Ekong, and Patrice Motsepe, endorsed Salah as the rightful winner. Liverpool manager Arne Slot stated, "He's had very, very, very good seasons at Liverpool, but this one probably stands out in terms of numbers. If there's ever a chance for him, it would be this season. If not, then he's going to try to push even harder next season." However, on the 22nd of September, Salah was controversially placed just 4th in the Ballon d'Or rankings and did not attend the ceremony. Charlie Mallam of the Daily Express wrote that Salah will surely go down as one of the best players never to win it and one of the most disrespected players of all time. Later that year, on the 22nd of November, he made his 300th Premier League appearance for Liverpool in a 3-0 home defeat against Nottingham Forest, becoming the fifth player to achieve this feat, following Jamie Carragher, Steven Gerrard, Jordan Henderson, and Sami Hyypiä. Salah had been substituted on 3 successive occasions in the Premier League and was unused in a 3-3 draw away at Leeds United on the 6th of December. Following the result, he stated in an interview that he felt that Liverpool had thrown him under the bus and viewed the club's recent situation as not acceptable. He expressed confusion as to why he was not being played, opining that, "I am not bigger than anyone, but I earned my position." Salah also shared that his relationship with Arne Slot had deteriorated, despite the two maintaining a good relationship in the past, and that someone doesn't want him in the club. Subsequently, he was left out of the Champions League away match against Inter Milan. On the 13th of December, he returned to action, coming off the bench to provide an assist in a 2-0 victory over Brighton. With that assist, he surpassed Wayne Rooney to hold the record for the most goal involvements for a single club in Premier League history, totaling 277, and third overall with 280, behind only Alan Shearer, 324, and Wayne Rooney, 311. On the 28th of January 2026, he reached his 80th Champions League appearance for Liverpool, matching Jamie Carragher's club record as the team cruised to a 6-0 win over Qarabağ. In March 2026, he made his record-breaking 81st appearance against Galatasaray in the competition's round of 16 first leg, then went on to score his 50th goal in the tournament during a 4-0 victory in the second leg, also providing an assist in the match. On the 24th of March 2026, Salah announced his departure from Liverpool at the end of the season. International career youth Salah played for both the Egypt national under-20 and under-23 team, representing Egypt in both the 2011 FIFA U20 World Cup and the 2012 Summer Olympics, scoring a penalty against Argentina in the round of 16 of the former tournament, with Egypt losing the match 2-1. Salah was selected for the Egypt squad to play at the 2012 Summer Olympics, scoring in all 3 of the team's group games. In their opening match on the 26th of July, he scored Egypt's second goal in a 3-2 defeat to Brazil. He scored the equalizer in their 1-1 draw against New Zealand on the 29th of July, before scoring Egypt's opening goal in a 3-1 win over Belarus in their final group stage game played on the 1st of August, securing advancement into the knockout stage of the tournament, where Egypt were eliminated following a 3-0 quarter-final defeat to Japan on the 4th of August. Senior Salah, number 19, playing for Egypt against Tunisia during a friendly match in October 2012. On the 3rd of September 2011, Salah made his debut for the senior Egypt national team in a 2-1 away defeat by Sierra Leone. He scored his first goal for Egypt's senior team in the 3-0 win against Niger a month later, on the 8th of October, in qualifying for the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations. On the 10th of June 2012, he scored a goal in the 93rd minute in stoppage time against Guinea to give Egypt an important 3-2 away victory in a 2014 FIFA World Cup qualifier. On the 9th of June 2013, Salah scored a hat-trick in a 4-2 away win against Zimbabwe as Egypt won their 4th consecutive match in the World Cup qualifiers. A week later in the following match, he scored the only goal away to Mozambique, putting Egypt into the final qualifying group. On the 10th of September, Salah scored his 6th tournament goal in a 4-2 win over Guinea, securing Egypt a 100% record to finish their qualifying group and becoming the joint top scorer among all African teams in the qualification stages. On the 10th of October 2014, Salah scored in a 2-0 win over Botswana, also scoring in the return fixture on 5 days later in qualifying for the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations. On the 19th of November, Salah scored the opening goal in a 2-1 away defeat to Tunisia as Egypt missed out on qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations finals for a 3rd consecutive time.
Salah playing for Egypt at the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Salah was a member of the Egypt squad for the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations held in Gabon. On the 25th of January, he scored a free kick in Egypt's 1-0 win over Ghana to secure first place in Group D. He went all the way to the final with Egypt, scoring twice and assisting 2 times in 6 games, earning him a place in the CAF team of the tournament. Salah was the top scorer for Egypt with 5 goals during 2018 FIFA World Cup qualification, including both goals in the decisive 2-1 victory over Congo, one of which was a penalty in the last minute to make the Pharaohs reach their first World Cup finals since the 1990 tournament. Despite doubts over his fitness following his shoulder injury, Salah was included in Egypt's 29-man provisional squad for the World Cup and was included in their final 23-man squad on the 4th of June. He missed Egypt's opening match against Uruguay on the 15th of June, which the Pharaohs lost 1-0, conceding in the 89th minute. Salah scored a penalty in Egypt's 3-1 defeat to hosts Russia at the Krestovsky Stadium, St. Petersburg, 4 days later. In Egypt's final group game on the 25th of June, Salah scored his second goal at the World Cup with a chip over goalkeeper Yasser Al-Musallam in Egypt's 2-1 defeat to Saudi Arabia at Volgograd Arena. On the 8th of September, in a 6-0 win over Niger in qualifying for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, Salah scored 2 goals, provided 2 assists, and also missed 2 penalties. His first penalty in the first minute of the game was saved, while the second he converted the loose ball after it was initially saved. Salah lining up in the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations final. On the 16th of June 2019, Salah provided 2 assists after coming on as a substitute in 3-1 win over Guinea in friendly warm-up game for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations on home soil, wearing the captain's armband for the first time in his international career. On the 26th of June, Salah scored his first goal of the tournament in Egypt's second group stage match, in a 2-0 win over DR Congo. He was also involved in the opening goal of the match, which was scored by captain Ahmed El Mohammadi. In Egypt's last group stage match, Salah scored his second goal of the tournament via a free kick against Uganda, as Egypt emerged as Group A winners of the tournament. Salah was named as the captain of the Egypt national team in September 2019. In 2021-22, Salah faced his Liverpool teammate Sadio Mane twice, as Egypt competed against Senegal in the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations final and the third round of 2022 World Cup qualification. However, Egypt lost both encounters via penalty shootouts. On the 24th of March 2023, Salah scored his 50th international goal for Egypt, making Egypt the only African team with more than one player who had scored at least 50 international goals. On the 16th of November, Salah scored 4 goals in Egypt's 6-0 win over Djibouti and became Egypt's highest goalscorer in World Cup qualification matches, overtaking Mohamed Aboutrika. On the 30th of December 2023, he was selected in the 27-man squad for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. On the 14th of January 2024, he scored a stoppage-time penalty in a 2-2 draw against Mozambique in the opening match of group stage, becoming the first Egyptian to score in 4 different AFCON tournaments. 4 days later, he sustained a hamstring injury against Ghana, which forced him to withdraw from the competition. Later that year, on the 10th of June, he earned his 100th international cap, in which he also scored a goal, in a 1-1 away draw against Guinea-Bissau during the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification. On the 8th of October 2025, he netted a brace in a 3-0 away win over Djibouti, sealing his nation's qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. With his brace against Djibouti, he became the all-time top scorer in the history of the African World Cup qualifiers by netting 20 goals for Egypt. He surpassed the previous joint record of 18 goals held by Didier Drogba, Samuel Eto'o, Momuni Dagano, and Islam Slimani.
On the 10th of January 2026, following Salah's goal against Ivory Coast in the quarterfinals of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, he became the first and only African player to score against 11 different teams in the history of the Africa Cup of Nations. However, Egypt eventually finished fourth at the African tournament. Player profile analysis. Salah, pictured in 2018, is best known for his speed, dribbling, clinical finishing, and playmaking abilities. Regarded as a quick, mobile, hard-working, and tactical player with good technique and an eye for goal, Salah is predominantly known for his speed, movement, clinical finishing, agility, dribbling skills, first touch, and ball control, as well as his ability to use both his pace and flair on the ball to beat opponents and create scoring opportunities for himself or his teammates. In recent years, Salah's playmaking has started to receive increased recognition. He recorded 25 assists across the 2021-22 and 2022-23 Premier League seasons, compared to 33 assists across the 4 seasons prior to this. A versatile forward, he primarily plays as a winger on the right flank, a position which allows him to cut into the center onto his stronger left foot and either shoot on goal or play quick exchanges with other players and make runs in behind the defense towards goal. He can also play in the center behind the main striker as either an attacking midfielder or second striker. On his increased threat in front of goal since joining Liverpool, Salah credits Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp's request for him to occupy more advanced central positions, often operating as a main striker, with the forward telling ESPN, "I play closer to the goal than any club before." Salah initially started his career at the left-back position. However, following a 4-0 win over the youth team of Egyptian club ENPPI, Salah was in tears for not scoring after missing several clear chances. This made his coach realize his passion for scoring goals, forcing him to move him to a forward position. Reception, Salah is regarded by several pundits and footballing figures as one of the best players in the world and one of the best African players of all time. While Salah was playing at Al Mokhaloun, American coach Bob Bradley saw Salah play and noted his prodigious speed, explosiveness, and intelligence on the pitch, already evident at his young age. Upon signing for Chelsea, Jose Mourinho said of Salah, "He's young, he's fast, he's creative, he's enthusiastic. When we analyzed him, he looks the kind of humble personality on the pitch, ready to work for the team." Mourinho added that Salah has similar qualities with talented players that he had worked with, such as Gareth Bale and Arjen Robben. His technical skills, pace, left foot, goal scoring, position, and direct playing style led him to be nicknamed the Egyptian Messi in the Italian media. Brazilian World Cup winner Ronaldo, whom Salah idolized while growing up, stated, "Salah is an incredible player with a tremendous quality. He looks like Messi." Salah has also received praise for his refusal to celebrate against his former clubs. However, many believe that Salah is constantly disrespected by Ballon d'Or rankings. Notable examples used to substantiate this claim include Salah only ranking 7th in the 2021 Ballon d'Or, Salah not being nominated for the 2024 Ballon d'Or, and Salah only ranking 4th in the 2025 Ballon d'Or. Some journalists attribute this lack of recognition to anti-Arab racism, Islamophobia, and Orientalism. Personal life, Salah and his wife, Maji, married in 2013. Their daughter, Makkah, born in 2014, is named in honor of the Islamic holy city of Makkah. They welcomed a second daughter, Kayan, in 2020. Salah is Muslim and celebrates goals by performing the sujud. On this goal celebration, Salah told CNN, "It's something like praying or thanking God for what I have received. But yeah, it's just praying and praying for a win. I've always done that since I was young, everywhere." Salah enjoys playing football on his PlayStation and has confessed jokingly that Salah in the video game is stronger than the real one. On top of that, he would often choose Liverpool as his team while playing on his PlayStation, confessing that he loved the club while he was a youngster.
Salah has also revealed that his favorite food is kushari, an Egyptian working-class dish in origin that is usually made from rice, pasta, and lentils, and topped with a variety of options, including spiced tomatoes, chickpeas, and onions. During the 2018 Egyptian presidential election, a large number of spoiled ballot papers, possibly more than 1 million, involved voters crossing out both names and writing Salah's name instead. In February 2026, Mohamed Salah was listed on the Sunday Times tax list with an estimated £14.5 million.